Hello, everybody. Chris with Night of Living Card Games back again for day 7 of Earthborne Rangers Legacy of the Ancestors. So, day 6 left us in the Scuttlers Network. It's kind of been collapsed, but we here are the people we're trying to rescue in the rubble, so we have to dig through the rubble and save them. So, we've got our buried survey team mission, and we've got our. What we have got is our, what is it called? The rescue deck. That's what it's called. The rescue deck here. Shifting rubble, 2 copies of the big robots, and then the 3 survivors we're looking at. We have to do this little test to draw a card from here, or to look, and then we can draw a card. Got everything else set up here. Today, we are on day 7, so the weather has changed underground. We are starting with the shimmering runoff as our weather underground today. So I got everything set up. Just got to do my hand and mulligan, and then we'll do the location-specific stuff. So let's see what we get. We got our Lambent's rig, Bravest Ranger, a Bold, Cassende Technique, Pakoto the Ferret, and another Pakoto the Ferret. Okay, well, I'm going to keep one of the Pakotos. I'm going to keep the Cassende Technique because that's the icon I need. I'm actually not going to keep Bold because I don't expect to be moving here. I will keep the Bravest Ranger, and I think I will keep a Lambent's rig just to just so I can illuminate things if necessary. So I'll be drawing 2 more here. Follow in footsteps, and a vaulting rod. All right, shuffle these up. All right, so for the location, the Scuttlers Network, what we have to do is we have to search the path deck for the next predator and put it into play. No. No. There we go. Juvenile Spindle Scuttler. Alright. It is disconnected. And then if it's illuminated, it loses disconnected. So disconnected just means I can't connect to it with a test. 4 health, 3 connect. All right, so we search, so we got to shuffle. All right, that's the location. Excuse me. All right, start of the round. We get a new path deck. And we got a Spindle Scuttler Worm. 1 presence, or Warren. 1 presence, 6 harm, and it has a ranger token, and it has persistent. So persistent means that if I were to travel to another location, this would come with me. It would stay there. So it says each being that is not illuminated gains persistent. Okay, and then focus plus exploration 2 to navigate the twisting passage to move your ranger token to it. And then if you clear it with getting a ranger token on there, you find another route through the cavern. You may remove all ranger tokens from this feature to discard an equal number of beings. If you do, do not discard this feature. So we could just kind of go hang out there, go look through there, discard somebody, and then come back. Right, and this is just, there is a flooded tunnel out of here. This basically just says, I can't go through that. All right, so my turn here. So let us spend 2 to get Pakoto the Ferret down. We will spend 1 to get our Lambent's rig down. Comes in with 3. Okay, so this mission is technically up here, so if I were to try to interact with it, I would have to deal with that, and I don't want to take 3 fatigue right now, so we are not going to be doing that. We will spend 1 fitness to get the bravest ranger down. And I think we're going to try to remember our ranger training. So 1 to 1. -1, I fail, so I don't get to do that. Blue mountain, let's see here. If within reach is not illuminated, so within reach is not illuminated, it is not, and is no active juvenile spindle scuttler. There is, so I'm fine there. Okay, mission. Shuffle the rescue deck unless you discard 1 awareness energy. Okay, well, I'm not using awareness for anything, so sure, I'll just do that so I don't have to deal with shuffling. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing there. Let's try to connect with Pakoto 1 to 1. 0, I succeed with a progress of 1. Red crest, nothing, 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 nothing here. If this being is illuminated, or if you have 3 or more fatigue, exhaust this being, suffer 1 injury. I do not have any fatigue, and it is not illuminated right now, so nothing happens to me. Right, and let's exhaust Pakoto to put 2 onto you. And then we are going to end our turn and rest. So we ready everything up. Draw a card into deliberate. And we get a new path card. Prismatic mushrooms. So now, because it's got illumination, this entire area is illuminated. So he is illuminated. Okay. We're going to connect with the juvenile spindle scuttler. 3 to 2. 0, I succeed with presence. 3, so it goes up to 5. That is enough to clear him. Now, red crest, nothing, 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 nothing. Because we cleared him before that triggered. So that's handy. We're going to try to check our deck for ranger training. +1, so I get to look at 2. The bravest ranger and a deliberate. I don't really want either of those, so we're going to put them both on the bottom of our deck. Draw the top card. It is a gauze blade. That actually could be handy while since I am going to have to probably deal with a lot of those little spindle scuttlers. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to spend 1 fitness to get our gauze blade out. And then we're going to spend another 1 to get my vaulting rod out. The reason I'm doing the vaulting rod is that is an aid card, so that allows me to power on my ability. Let's try to do this test on the prismatic mushrooms. It's awareness plus exploration. I don't have any icons for that, so I can't do that. So discover another glowing patch of mushrooms, add 1 harm to this feature, and move it to another area. So I am a 2 versus 0. -1, I succeed. So we get 1 harm on here. And you move over here. Yellow sun challenge effects triggers. Glitterane, what is it? Move 1 feature or being and discard runoff equal to its presence. Minimum of 1. I guess we'll do that one. because it is a feature or being. Yep. And it has a presence of 1, so we remove 1 runoff from it. Nothing, 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 nothing. We do have a yellow sun here. Yellow sun says, the soft light is a relief from the encroaching darkness. You may exhaust a ranger card to soothe 1 fatigue. Well, I don't have any fatigue at the moment, so that is that. I have no energy, so nothing left for me to do, so I choose to rest. Energy comes back. No cards to ready. Draw a card. Another vaulting rod. We get a new. So we get Vengeful Stalactites. 2 presence. 3 harm. 4 progress threshold. It is an obstacle. That is, if this feature is illuminated, it loses obstacle. And clear with harm, each ranger with less awareness energy than this feature's presence suffers 1 injury. Okay, well, at the moment, the only thing... Oh, and the red challenge effect is add 1 harm to the feature. The problem being it is a 2 presence, but it is no longer an obstacle because of this stupid prismatic mushroom. So, all right, let us... We are... Oh... I don't have icons for that. Shoot. I really want to get rid of that. I think I'm just going to have to... I am just going to have to deal with getting some fatigue here so I can start getting to work here. So let us, first things first, let us try to remember our ranger training. 0. I succeed with 1. I will keep this on top and I will draw it because these are the icons I need here. All right, Blue Mountain. Nothing here. Here. If within reach is not illuminated, it is not, and there are no active spindle scuttlers. Go search the cave system set for a spindle scuttler. Okay, well... not what I really needed. And here I have to shuffle that unless I spend an energy, which an awareness energy, green energy, which I don't know how much I care. Sure. I will just shuffle this up since I haven't done anything with this yet. It's all random and doesn't really matter. So, shuffled. Okay, here. Blue is, if there is an active prey, there is not. Well, actually, nope. No active prey. Okay. So still my turn. That is really a bummer. All right, we are going to attempt to avoid it. Just 2 to 2. 0, I succeed. Perfect. Yellow sun. So I move a card. Sure, we'll move you over here. And remove that. Nothing here. Soft light. You may exhaust a ranger to soothe the fatigue. Still don't have any. So that's that. Okay. We're going to use our vaulting rod to exhaust that. Because again, technically the mission is up here at this level. So I am going through everything within reach and along the way to get to it. So I'm now going to do this test. Fitness, so 2. And following footsteps. So I am a 4. So let's see here. Dig your friends. Scout cards from the rescue deck equal to your effort, then draw 1 card from it. If any of the scouted cards are shifting rubble, they must be placed on top. So it actually almost benefits me not to do big on this because... Actually, no, the first one, it makes sense to go big. Because then I can set the deck, hopefully. So I'm doing 4. 3 of the cards are people I care about. So worst case, shifting rubble is first. And then I can stack the deck with the other cards. So, all right. So 4 versus doesn't have any difficulty associated to it. So I think that defaults to a 1. We'll say 1. 4 to 1. 0. So 3. Oh, you're kidding me. All right. So we got to do this. So 4. So we got Quizzy, Crimson Guardian, and of course Shifting Rubble. The problem is, so I will put the 2 Crimson Guardians on the bottom, then Quizzy on top, and then Shifting Rubble on top. And then I draw 1 card, so we know it's Shifting Rubble. It is an obstacle that comes along the way. 1 presence, 3 harm, 6 progress, obstacle, and when the feature is attached to another card, progress cannot be added or moved to this card. And then, okay. The problem, however, so I've got the deck exactly how I want it. The next 3 cards are the 3 people I'm looking for. Unfortunately, the Blue Mountain here, within reach is illuminated, so I don't need to worry about that. However, an Aftershock shakes the chamber. Shuffle the the rescue deck unless you discard 1 awareness energy, of which I have none. So all that work I just did is gone. Obnoxious. All right, and that's not all. If there's an active prey, there is not an active prey. And then if this feature isn't attached, it collapses. Attach this feature to the path card with the highest presence. If you can't, suffer 1 injury. So the path card with the highest presence. So that is either that or that. Now the thing I don't know is if I attach it. So what I'm looking at here is if I attach it over to here, they're both obstacles. If I exhaust this obstacle with my vaulting rod, does this also exhaust? Let me see if I can figure that out real quick. The card is attached. Okay, when a card leaves play, any card attached to it are discarded. Doesn't really say, but in fact, what I think I'll do then is I will attach... Oh, while this feature... Oh, is attached to another card, progress cannot be attached or moved to that card. So yeah, we'll do it on you. When the car's attached. Yeah, I don't see any reason. Oh, challenge cards are attached to your roll. Okay. Taking a look here. Nope. It doesn't really say. Let me take a look at one other thing. It doesn't say one way or another. All right, well, I'll deal with that another time. All right. Disappointing that that happened. All right, let us try to connect with Pakoto the ferret. -1, I succeed with 2. Red crest, nothing, 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 nothing. This is exhausted, nothing. This, we add a damage to it. And then you are exhausted, so nothing there. All right, I have no more energy, so I am going to choose to do nothing and rest. Oh, I suppose I take that back. Before I did that, I did my Pakoto thing to put 2 on you. Now we ready everything up. We will draw a card into another Lambent's Rig. Right, new path card. Oh, visitor from above. You feel the hint of a breeze and take a breath. The air here is fresh, though tinged with the odor of decay. You see no obvious route that leads to the surface, but you sense that there may be other visitors from above. Draw a challenge card and resolve the corresponding effects. Challenge card is a yellow sun. Search the ravine set for 2 Nycta bats and a web wall. Shuffle them into the path card, then draw 1 path card. Okay. The ravine set. Why you gotta do that to me? Okay, so 1 Nycta bat, 1 web wall, 2 Nycta bats. Right, this will get discarded. I'll shuffle that up in a second. All right, and we draw into prismatic mushrooms. More prismatic mushrooms. And now we gotta shuffle the challenge deck. Oof. The problem is with that, I now cannot do the mission. Because I have 2 obstacles and I can't go past the obstacle. Okay. Actually, what is surroundings? Yeah, surrounding is where the mission is, so. Yep. I can't do anything with the mission right now. Alright, first things first. Let's use Picoto. Let's clear this. I mean, bottom line is we've got to do tests. I'm going to do this awareness test of the prismatic mushrooms. That is a 0, so I succeed, so it is gone. Takes damage. Alright, now, red crest, that's what I needed. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And then here, we get 2, and we get a damage here. Let us spend a spirit energy to put an energy on my vaulting rod. We are going to remember my ranger training. 0, so I get to look at 1. Cordo's instinct, we'll keep it on top, and we draw it. And we got a red crest, so that is 3. So that is defeated. Okay, perfect. And now we get 1 on here and nothing there. Awesome. All right, so now what we can do is we will use the vaulting rod to exhaust this. We're going to do fitness, and the Kassendi technique. So we're going to be doing 4 versus, we're going to say 1, 5, so perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, I get to look at all of them. And we're gonna... Who do we want to put first? Yeah, let's put Cal out. No, we're gonna do things nicely. We're gonna do Quizzy, Harlan, Voss, Cal, Ivor, and then the Crimson Guardians on the bottom. And then we draw a card. Hey, look, it's Quizzy. All right. Locations marked. Okay, so she comes in 126. Hi! The unmistakable sound of Quizzy Voss's voice echoes down the passageway. Quizzy herself is not far behind. She climbs a pile of debris, skipping down its side to meet you. It sure is dark down here, isn't it? She says. That's why I love Slugman, my slug friend. She holds up to her lantern, revealing a glowing slug within a bell of glass. He's not afraid of anything. He's the bravest slug I've ever met. And that says a lot. He's been helping me and my dad make a map of this place. What are you doing here? What's that? With a sigh, you wonder where her father is. Okay. So we just need to clear her. All right, so that is that. Yellow Sun I've got to do. So Yellow Sun is, what is it again? Move 1 feature or being and discard runoff equal to its thing. So let's... Uh, let's move prismatic mushrooms. Actually, no. Let's move that out of the way. And then we discard 1 to get down to 2. Right? Then nothing here. Here, you may exhaust a range card to soothe 1 fatigue. I don't have any. Discard 1 progress or 1 unique token from a machine, tech, or gear. Machine, tech, or gear. I guess I will do... we're going to do that. All right, we are going to try to talk to Quizzy. We are going to do 3 versus 1. 0, I succeed, so I get 3 progress, so she is cleared. Let's see, what do I get for clearing her? I don't think anything. Quizzy holds up a scroll of light. On its surface, you see a delicate filigree of pale blue. This is a mapping scroll, see? I just traced my route with this fancy stick, and it remembers it. Quizzy tucks it back into her shoulder bag. When I meet up with my dad, we'll combine my scroll with his, and it'll make a super scroll. But first, we need to explore as much as possible. Otherwise, the map will be incomplete. Do you want to come with? I know Slugman wants you to come. Let's see if we can find my dad. It'll be fun. Either go find your dad, attach helping hand to her to help down that, or you can find him, discard Quizzy, each ranger suits. So we're going to discard her. And then we got Quizzy there. All right, red challenge. Nothing, because this is exhausted. Nothing, and nothing. Okay, that is my turn. That is all my energy. So we will ready everything up. We'll get our energy back. Draw a card, which is another gauze blade. And now draw a path card. It is a Spindler Scuttler Matron. Ooh. Disconnected. If it's illuminated, it loses disconnected. And then if you clear with harm, so it's a 3 presence, 6 damage, 6 connect. Then it searches. If you clear with harm, go get a Junior Spindle Scuttler and place it on top of the path deck. All right, well, that is going to be very obnoxious and something that I apparently have to do something about. Maybe I shouldn't have used the Cassendi technique. All right. So the real question is, do I want to take 4? Do I want to take 4 fatigue to get Harlan out? I think I kind of want to, because I don't have a good way of dealing with you. So, yeah. If this being is illuminated, or if you have 2 or more fatigue. All right, well, it is illuminated right now because of the mushrooms. Not a whole lot I can do about that. So we are going to do the test. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 for you. Oh, first things first. I'm going to spend 1 to put that, and then I will spend 1 to exhaust that. So that was 3 for you, and then a 4th one for that. To do this test. And I'm only going to do 2. So I'm at 2 versus, we're saying a 1. Plus 1, I succeed. So I get to look at the top 3 cards. Unfortunately, it is top 3 cards. Hey, look. I'll put them back in the exact same order because it's the order I wanted. And I'll go get Harlan. I'm going to choose not to read the stuff because it doesn't kind of make sense. At least in my mind right now, I'm digging him out of the rubble. He's probably hoping that his little girl's all right, and she is. All right. But I digress. Let us do the Blue Mountain. So nothing here. If within reach is not illuminated, it is illuminated because they're that. So I don't need to worry about that. That, I either spend an awareness energy or shuffle it. We will spend that awareness energy. I just realized now I should have just done one of those so I could have gotten both of them out this turn. Nothing here. Here, if there is an active prey, there is not an active prey. All right, I'm going to try to connect with Pekoto the Ferret. -1, I succeed. And get 1 on him. Yellow Sun, I have to move a card. We're going to move that. Take that down to 1. Nothing else here. You may exhaust a ranger card to soothe 1 fatigue. Well, I'm already exhausted, so I can't do that. Add 3 damage to an active feature with the highest presence. If that feature is a flora, add 2 progress to that. So with the highest presence, that is this, which defeats it. Okay. If there is an active feature, you can't keep up with the Alacritus Explorer. That feature fatigues you and exhausts it. Right? Well, since I get to choose, I'm going to choose the feature with a presence of 0, so it fatigues me for 0. Right, we were going to do Pekoto. We will put 2 progress there. Do I remember my ranger training? Sure, why not? Let's try to remember my ranger training, shall we? 0, I succeed. Ranger badge, sure, I'll keep that on top, and I will keep that. All right. If illuminated, oh shoot, along the way is no longer illuminated. There are no active junior spindle scuttlers. Ugh. Well, that's a shame for that's a shame for me of moving those mushrooms. Okay, and the reason I did that is because I knew I had 1 awareness energy, so I don't need to reshuffle that. Nothing here with Blue Mountain. Ugh. Okay, well, that's all I can do, so I'm going to end my turn. Ready everything up. Get my energy back. Draw a card, which is a dear friend. And now, top of the round, we get a web wall. Another obstacle. Okay. All right, we're going to try to connect Pekoto. 3 to 1. 0, I succeed. And then I'm going to spend 1 for a follow in footsteps. After you succeeded a connect test, add progress to a feature equal to your effort. So I'm going to put it onto this feature, which clears it. Right, but I got to deal with the yellow sun. So move this. So why don't we move this guy here now? So this is illuminated. And now, since we take all the runoff, we flip this card, and it is now glitter rain time. All right, nothing here from yellow sun. All right. What is this? This is a feature. Yeah. So this one says add 3 damage to the active feature with the highest presence, which is this guy here. Right, that takes care of that one. This one is add 2 damage to the active feature with the highest presence, and if the feature is a flora, which it's not. Right, that takes it here. And then if there is an active feature, that feature fatigues you and exhausts it. So I'm going to choose this feature. So I'm fatigued for 0 and I exhaust it. So this does not trigger. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let us use Picoto and a turn to get up to 4 on you. So Harlan is taken care of as well. Yeah, as much as I would love not to have to do that, let us... We're going to do this test. Actually, let us exhaust... Oh, before I do that, hang on. I'm going to do this, spend a focus to get this up to 2. Then we're going to use it to exhaust this obstacle. Then we're going to do this test, 3 versus 1. I succeed. Hey, look, I'm going to leave them in the same order, and I'm going to draw Cal Ivor. Okay, now we get the red crest. Nothing, 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 nothing. Here, if this being is illuminated, which it is, I have to suffer 1 injury. If there's an active predator, exhaust it. Add damage to this being. All right, well, at least this way I will only suffer 1. Oh, hang on a second. I did that. I got to suffer 4 fatigue. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did not do that. So we'll do this first. So if there's an active predator, there is 1. Add damage to this being equal to that presence. Exhaust it. And then we do 3 damage to Cal. And then this one is this, if this being is illuminated, but because the mushrooms are here, it is. If you have 3 or more fatigue, exhaust this being and suffer 1 injury, which I can't do anything about. So I have to discard this and take an injury. Let's see here. There's a Stout-Hearted Guardian, both copies of Quiet, so... Okay, well, that was that. All right, nothing else for me to do here. So we are going to end my turn and rest. Can't travel anywhere. So during refresh, the injury causes me to fatigue 1. Now we ready everything up. And draw a path card. Pitch Black Passage. It is an obstacle, and it comes in I got something to read here. 149. There are very few places in the archaeology ruin that anyone would consider to be well lit. Yet many chambers and passages are at least partially illuminated by bioluminescent plants and fungi, or by what remains of the artificial lighting of the Estians that the Estians installed. This passageway, however, is the darkest you have seen. It's as though it emanates darkness, projecting it outward to swallow the light. There could be any number of dangers within. You stand before the opening knowing that you must enter, but hesitant to do so. Clear the pitch black passage with progress while each ranger's token is on it to overcome your fear of the unknown. All right, let's take a look here. So 2 presence, 5 harm, 10 presence threshold, obstacle. Response, when one or more features added to this feature, if it is illuminated, double that. And then spirit plus icon 3 to venture into the darkness to move your ranger token here. And if you clear it, you read the passage. So I suspect I will not get a chance to do that with all those annoying things in front of me. Okay, my turn. First things first, we're going to use Pakoto to put 2 progress on Cal. Oh, this is readied up. We are going to... let's make sure we do this. We're going to do 4 versus 2. 0. I succeed up to 6. So he is cleared. And then when the 3 bubbles are checked, read 1.1.1.111. Your work done, you find a place to rest within the sheltered chamber. Harlan dampens a rag with his canteen and begins to wipe the tears and grime from his daughter's cheeks. Cal unlaces his boots and pours a surprising number of jagged rocks from them onto the floor. No one speaks. Every few minutes you feel another quake, but with each subsequent tremor, the intensity seems to decrease. Eventually, there is only a deep rumbling sound coming from somewhere far below. You hear the sound of approaching footsteps, and then the space is suddenly filled with light. Solaro Mako stands at the threshold, his brightly glowing lambent's rig held aloft. I thought we might need some light, he starts, then looks to see and sees you, Quizzy, Harlan, and Cal, disheveled, covered in dust, battered but alive. Oh, thank the ancestors, he says breathlessly. You're all safe. Oh, thank goodness. Solaro slumps against the wall in relief, and for once his boundless enthusiasm seems to have left him. When we felt the first quake, I just knew. I knew that I had to pull you all out of harm's way. Solaro, I said. Solaro, if your foolish meddling has gotten your friends hurt, or worse, I don't know what I would have done. Solaro wipes the tears from his eyes and turns away. Complete the buried survey team mission. Record save the team on the campaign tracker. Each card that was attached to it and the remainder of the rescue deck go to the collection. Oh, so I guess I wasn't supposed to discard them. Let's see here. Oh, I was supposed to read something different when the cards came out. Oh, let's see. Just real quick, Quizzy. Grunting and straining with the effort, you shift a large shard from behind the passageway wall. Behind it is a dark, cramped alcove containing the battered, dusty, sniffling, but very much alive Quizzy boss. She wraps her arm tightly around your neck as you pull her free. Then she looks up, her eyes wide. Where's my dad? She asks, her voice rising in worry. Dad, where are you? Clear Quizzy with progress. So we did that. That was Quizzy. All right, so then we did Harlan. Dad! Quizzy yells. She runs to Harlan, who scoops her up in her arms and hugs her tightly. Oh, let me just make sure of that. Harlan, Quizzy's player attached to the mission, which she would have been. Okay. Dad, Quizzy yells. She runs to Harlan, who scoops her up in her arm and hugs her tightly. Oh, my beautiful baby girl, he says, his voice choking with tears. In response, Quizzy sobs into his chest with relief. You're all right, he says softly. You're all right. Harlan looks at you over his daughter's head, his eyes glittering with tears. Each ranger chooses to fatigue, then you add progress to Harlan. So I made it more difficult on myself. And then finally, Cal. As you shovel piles of gravel out of the way, you suddenly unearth a grasping hand. You grab, pull, and with a roar of effort, Cal Ivor erupts from the rubble. Though a little bloodied and covered in dust and grime, he appears to be all right. And then clear him with progress to convince him to safety. If I stood up to Cal, I don't think I did, but let me check my notable events here. I do not have that on it, so. We soothe to fatigue. Alright, so that's what I should have done as I pulled these people out. Okay. So, we've got them, and return each card. And the remainder of the rescue deck, which is the 2 Crimson Guardians, they go to the collection. All right, back to it. Suddenly, another intense quake rocks the chamber. You instinctively place your hands on the ground or against a wall, trying to maintain your balance. Solaro stumbles, drops his lineman's rig, and falls to the floor. Above you, the countless tons of rock and earth groan and creak. But hold. Without missing a beat, Solaro rolls into a sitting position and places his hand against the wall, feeling the vibration in the rock. When it stops, he opens his notebook and hastily scribbles something on the page. He speaks to himself under his breath, then looks up at you, his eyes wide. It was as I feared, he says. Whatever I did woke up the arcology all right, but not in the way I expected. I thought that maybe the lights would turn on, all the doors would open, or the preserved day mechanisms would stabilize. But instead, I think the whole system is trying to reactivate. Machinery that's been dormant for centuries, perhaps attempting to execute some final directive, instilled in it by the last of the Estians. There's no telling what will happen with all the systems switched on and no one there to guide them. It could be collapsing on itself. What if the arcology system somehow caused the Estians' extinctions? The people of the valley could be next. You put a hand on Solaro's shoulder and remind him that there's no need to panic. You'll get to the bottom of this and set things right. Of course, he says. I'm being foolish. I honestly have no idea what's happening or what will happen in the days to come. All I know is that this is all my fault. I put the entire valley in jeopardy with my short-sighted behavior. Solaro's voice is grave and firm. Whatever I hope to learn down here doesn't matter anymore. We need to find whatever it is that's causing these quakes, perhaps a malfunctioning engine of some kind, and shut it down. He looks at you, his eyes grim. I must ask for your aid once again, my friend. Please help me correct this grievous error. Gain the long dark and rattling the cage mission. If you felt a sudden quake, which we did not... No. All right, so we need the long dark and rattling the cage missions. The long dark. And rattling the cage. All right, long dark. You must venture into the deepest section of the arcology. Perhaps there you can find a way to stop the earthquakes that threaten to destroy the arcology in the valley above. arrive at the cage. To complete that, let's take a look here real quick. No, that's upside down. All right, so we are over here at the Scuttler's Network. Where is the cage? Chimney, Orleans Vault, Terminal Artery, Drenching Chamber. The cage is in Stratum 3. So it would appear that we need to figure out how to get to Stratum 2 to then go to Stratum 3. So we need to get to the Cerulean Curtains in Stratum 2, which is here. Okay, so we could go Orleans Vault over here to the branching artery, then over to the severed artery, then the cerulean curtain, or if we had the rebreather, we could go here to also get down, but I don't have the rebreather and I'm not sure how to get it. So looks like we're going to have to take the long way. So here, 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 here. All right, so that is that. All right, rattling the cage. What does it say? Whatever Solaro did at the concordant ziggurats has brought the arcology to life, which is causing massive earthquakes emanating from the cage deep underground. Start of day. Read the following entries based on the number of days since you received this mission. Okay, so we are on... The first one isn't in for another 3 days. So we are on day 7 right now. So let me add these missions. So the long dark. And then rattling the cage. All right, so on day 10, we would read the first one. It's every 3 days, so 3, 6, 9, then 11, 12, 13. So I would say we have, so 3, 6, 9, 11, 12, 13. So day 19. So I would say probably if we don't complete this by day 13, we lose. So... All right, but we got some time there. Okay, but that was just for doing Harlan, Cal Ivor. So we still actually have to do our challenge effects. So, challenge effect blue. For the remainder of this test, all areas count as illuminated. If within reach is not illuminated, oh, everything is illuminated, so that doesn't matter. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nothing, nothing. If there is an active prey, there is not. Okay, so how in the... Do I have any chance of getting through this? So that is 4 progress I need. And that is 5 threat. That is 5, 6, 7. Well, no, I'd have to exhaust that just to get past it anyway. So that is 5. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's also 1. So, whew. So I've got 3 icons in my hand right now. So I would be 5 versus 2. So I would need to just... I would need to just only pull a -1. Yeah, I think we are going to try it. So let us exhaust ourselves. Let's spend an awareness, put a charge here. And then exhaust and spend a charge to exhaust this obstacle. We are now going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fitness test over here. That causes me 3, 4, 5, and actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. To go here. So I have 1 shot at this. Yeah, let's just do 1 shot at this. 0. So I succeed with 5 progress. So I have enough to be able to travel, but we got to see these things. For the remainder of this test, all areas are considered illuminated. All right, there's already a juvenile spindle scuttler. Nothing. No, here, if there's active prey, there is not. Nothing else. Sweet. All right, that is the one that I needed, because if I had gotten a red, I would have injured out in the process. So I am done. I am choosing to travel because I have enough progress on it. I am going to travel to Orland's Vault through the fungal forest, and I am going to choose to rest. So that happens before the refresh phase, so my injury and all that doesn't happen. So there we go. All right, well, that took all day, but I did manage to dig out my friends, and now we know we just have to get further underground, so we are going to just try to race our way through. Awesome. So if you made it this far, as always, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button. I will be getting day 8 up before too long. But hopefully you enjoyed this. I got more Earthborne Rangers. I got Marble Champions coming out. So if you like what you see and you want to see more gaming content, go ahead and hit subscribe. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great day. Catch you later, folks.